Alright, welcome guys to this race. And this is the start of the chase, race 15. We have 10 races to go out there. Ken Johnson starts on the front row next to a non-chaser, Justin Acosta. The 33 and the 29 of Danny Wells are in the chase. Connor Breton with a nice starting position. He's in the chase. Dillon Poteet's in the chase. Jonny Gardner's in the chase. Shawn Henley's in the chase. Jack Richards is in the chase. Tim Froehlich is in the chase. Dougie Shears is in the chase. Ryan Acosta and Trent Dunham is in the chase. And they're 4 wide. And caution is out. Theo Stigo's around. And I think a chaser got involved. Connor Breton. Connor Breton is in trouble. He's a chaser. And coming down, here comes Ken Johnson, a chaser, and non-chaser Derek Beiserback. We have 3 non-chasers in the top 5. And there's Connor Breton, a chaser. What happened? Okay, you see Connor Breton all over the 29. And then there he goes. And Jonny Gardner got a little piece of that. And then Red Bell got a piece. And then, Ryan Acosta came in right there, got a piece. And then Jack Richards got in trouble a little bit. I think he got into the wall. Yeah, Jack Richards. Jack Richards, another chaser with problems. He got turned by Daniel, and he's in the wall. There you see Theo Stigo getting turned by the 17 Alicia Shears. And there he is. There's 8 Truck getting turned right there in that wreck. Theo Stigo just barely missed getting in the chase. Tough break for him. And there's Connor Breton. Let's go on board with Connor Breton. Connor Breton and Theo Stigo were the only 2 big trucks to get involved in this. And Ryan Acosta as well. Another chaser. The 10 Truck got a piece of that. Yeah, you see the damage to the 10 Truck. And there's Connor Breton and Ryan Acosta right there, getting a piece of it. Let's go on board with Ryan Acosta. Right there is Connor Breton. And there's Theo Stigo right there. So pretty much 3 or 4 trucks involved in this. Yeah, I think I've seen the 39 is in trouble. Yeah, I seen the 10 on pit road. So we had a couple chase contenders involved in that one. And we got Connor Breton out of the race. That's going to hurt him big time in the chase. And there's Ryan Acosta running back there. He has a whole front damage. He won at Kentucky to get himself in the chase. So he's running pretty bad right now. Alright, here we go. Green flag is out. Ken Johnson, the chase contender, will lead him to the green flag. There's Derek Beiserback, who's trying to spoil the party for the chaser, Ken Johnson. And here he goes on the bottom of the racetrack. Took a horrible crash last week at Pocono. And there goes another driver who's in the chase, Danny Wells, looking pretty good today. Didn't have a great race last week. Got involved in a wreck last week at Pocono. There's Dillon Poteet. Dillon Poteet almost won a race, but he got lucky and got into the chase with his good, consistent runs. And there he goes on the top of the racetrack. And there's Chris Summers. Chris Summers has won 3 races this season and has assured him a spot in the chase. There's Jonny Gardner running pretty good, won at Iowa. And there's Shawn Henley and Trent Dunham. They're in the chase. They both have been having consistent runs. And there's Dougie Shears. He's trying to move up in this chase, not having a great day. Neither is Jack Richards or a couple of these guys back here. Oh, look at the 18 get run up all the way to the racetrack. Here comes Dillon Poteet getting pushed by Dakota Erickson. And they are all over that 18 Nas machine. Look at Dillon Poteet close to the wall. He's still getting pushed. And Dakota Erickson's going to back off right there. And they're 4 wide back here. Look at Shawn Henley. This is chasers right here. Danny Wells, Shawn Henley. Oh, and they're still 4 wide. They're bouncing off each other. Trent Dunham, Shawn Henley got in each other at Indianapolis Raceway Park, I think it was. But I think they got their differences straightened up, and they're still racing hard. Oh, Chris Summers comes up in front of Shawn Henley. There's Andre Castro on the bottom of the racetrack. He's trying to get a good finish. He has damage on the front of his truck from that wreck. And there's Danny Wells. Danny Wells has always had a great start to these races, but just cannot find the finish. And there's Bob Fergus. Where'd he come from? There's Pichu London getting pushed by Tim Froehlich, another chaser. He won at Texas, and he's been pretty consistent but quiet this season. And Bob Fergus comes down, and they're going to go 3 wide. Look at Danny Wells try to get a side draft. Here's Danny Wells right there. And Danny Wells is really falling back. And then there goes Ken Johnson. Ken Johnson's still racing on the outside, trying to get by Derek Beiserback in there. 3 wide. Look at Derek Beiserback. Oh man. And I think the caution's out now. And Justin Acosta, he started on the outside of the front row. He will take the lead. And here comes Ken Johnson again on the bottom of the racetrack. And Andre Castro has come out of nowhere to come into the top 10, and he's going 3 wide, muscling his way to Ken Johnson's back bumper. Look at Dakota Erickson going to 3rd place. And there's a chaser taking the lead. Dillon Poteet on the outside. He will take the lead. He almost won at Pocono, and he's trying to look to win here. Here's Dillon Poteet, got his last chance last week to make the chase, and he did. And he is taking the lead, and he is looking to win this win this race. There's Trent Dunham. He has come up in the top 10. He's 6 right now. He's passing Derek Beiserback right there. And there's Shawn Henley. Look at the run that Jonny Gardner gets in the 22. Here's Bob Fergus. Bob Fergus has had a terrible season, but he is trying to end his season on a high note, but still needs to get through these last 10 races. And there's Dillon Poteet. Dillon Poteet has put out a lead on these guys. But they might be coming up on some lap traffic soon. And I think somebody got up in the wall. No, never mind. But there is Trent Dunham. Trent Dunham is the second highest running chaser. He is trying to get this win. He got a win at Kansas, and that's how he got in the chase. And there's Ken Johnson. Ken Johnson has just not been able to get his truck to the front. And look at these guys go 3 wide again. Oh, and some of them are making a pit stop. There's Trent Dunham on pit road. 0.045. And there's Bob Ferguson on pit road. Tim Froehlich. All these guys are coming on pit road for some pit strategy. There's Danny Wells. He said he wants tires and a wedge adjustment. His truck is really not doing good today. There's Colin Cropley on pit road. And and Red Fox is on there as well. And Trent Dunham will probably be the first out. As there goes Zohar. And something is wrong with Zohar. And anyway, here comes Bob Fergus. And Trent Dunham will lead these guys off of pit road. Maybe Trent Dunham is doing something to try to win this race. There's Danny Wells with a nice pit stop. And there's Red Bell with a nice pit stop. And then here comes the rest of these guys. Dillon Poteet on pit road. Andre Castro. Dakota Erickson. The whole rest of the lead pack. There's Shawn Henley. Shawn Henley has some damage. And there's Chris Summers. There's big chasers. Ken Johnson. Derek Beiserbach is in. And Zohar and Colin Cropley are still on pit road. And somebody has out of the race. And there's Dillon Poteet. Dillon Poteet leads these guys off. And the guys that went a lap down, they'll probably get their lap back. And here we go. This is a race to the finish. And Dillon Poteet will come out first. There's Dakota Erickson, and then there's Jonny Gardner beating Ken Johnson. Ken Johnson lost a couple positions. And there's Chris Summers, who hasn't had a great pit stop. And there's the rest of these guys on here. Theo Siegel on here, Jack Richards, and I believe I know who the leader's gonna be. And that's gonna be Trent Dunham. And it looks like Trent Dunham is trying to get a great start to this chase. Trent Dunham won at Kansas, and he's been very consistent in this Ford machine. And he's looking to try to get a good start off to this chase, and he is first now. And there's Bob Fergus. These two race each other for the win at Texas, and they're racing again. And here comes Tim Froehlich. Tim Froehlich and Trent Dunham are the most underrated drivers in this chase right now, and they're running 1-2 on pit stop strategy. And there's Dougie Shears. He was 20th all race, lowest of the chasers, and he is now trying to get up there to race with these guys. And there's Danny Wells. Danny Wells is trying to keep his stride, and here comes Dillon Poteet. Dillon Poteet with fresher tires than these guys. Can he get up there and get that win? He has 4 laps to do it. And there's Red Bell getting pushed all over the track by Pichu London. And Red Bell, this is her one great run with Fuel Doctor. Last week she had a bad finish getting involved in that big wreck. And there's Dakota Erickson on fresher tires. There's Jonny Gardner with fresher tires, Shawn Henley. And look at that number 39. With a pit stop strategy, his no front end truck may finish in the top 15. There's Ken Johnson Really not the day he wanted, but he won't lose spots in the chase from this run. There's Chris Summers having a terrible run right now. He may lose the points lead with this run today. And there's Red Fox and all the rest of you guys on pit road still. But Trent Dunham is looking to try to win this race. He has 2 more laps to go with this time by. How would it be a story to start the chase out with Trent Dunham and KHI getting this win in the chase to start out, and maybe him moving up in this chase? He has had a great truck all day long. Can he get the win? There's Tim Froehlich. Tim Froehlich is trying to get up there to challenge, but it looks like this guy is not going to be denied today as he gets under Dougie Shears, as he has fresher tires than most of these guys, and he's going to just try to drive right by him. Oh, and we had these guys finally coming off of pit road. Justin Acosta with problems, and I think they had speeding penalties. I don't know, but Trent Dunham is going to get slowed up by these slow cars, and that's not good as they're coming back on the racetrack. And Chris Summers is running. He's he's not the lowest running chaser, but he's going to lose some positions in the points. And I think this is Trent Dunham's. Is this his last lap? No, hold on. I cannot. Hold on. Too many trucks on. Yeah, Trent Dunham's got a couple more laps to go, but Dillon Poteet is catching him. He needs to hope that Dillon Poteet does not catch him. As here comes Colin Cropley to come race Trent Dunham. He doesn't need to be racing Trent Dunham, as Trent Dunham is trying to get his truck to victory lane. But here comes Dillon Poteet. Dillon Poteet is coming as his teammate gives leeway. As Trent Dunham will come off a turn, will come here to take the white flag. Does he have enough to keep that 3 truck behind him? Because that 3 truck is coming with new tires. Can KHI win this race? No, he can't. Here comes Dillon Poteet with fresher tires. Dillon Poteet has been passing everybody on fresher tires, and he will pass Trent Dunham. And Trent Dunham will have a heartbreak. And Trent Dunham will probably run out of fuel or something, because his truck has not have fresher tires right now. And there's Dillon Poteet. Oh, wait a minute. What is with Dillon Poteet? Oh, man, Dillon Poteet was slowing down a little bit. But it doesn't matter. He has fresher tires than Trent Dunham, and Dillon Poteet will come back from a late race pit stop, and he will win at Michigan. And Trent Dunham, heartbreak, will finish second. And look at these guys running 3 wide. And Jonny Gardner got up to 5th spot with his fresher tires. And there's Dougie Shears, who barely finished 3rd, I think. Theo Stiegel with a terrible run in 23rd. There's Tim Froehlich, who's 6th. And there's Dakota Erickson. I'll tell you the heartbreak in the top 10 for Ken Johnson, who was having a terrible day. Danny Wells came back to finish 11th, and Chris Summers will finish 15th. So luckily Chris Summers finished 15th, so he won't lose the points lead. He will keep it for right now, but terrible run for Chris Summers. And there's Dillon Poteet. Dillon Poteet will pass Trent Dunham in the last lap on fresher tires. He was catching everybody and laying them down with the fresh tires, and Trent Dunham just didn't have enough fresh tires to beat him. So, I'm sorry. And congratulations to Dillon Poteet. And that's our coverage for today. And we will show you the finishing results. Trent Dunham with a heartbreaker. Just didn't have enough fresher tires than Dillon Poteet. So, but the chases that had nice finishes. Dougie Shears with a breakout finish in his chase after winning last week. A nice job by his pit crew. Jonny Gardner with a great finish. Tim Froehlich, and hats off to Bob Fergus for racing Tim Froehlich clean and getting seventh. Shawn Henley with a nice finish. Ken Johnson, Danny Wells with a nice finish. And then you get to the guys after Chris Summers, who barely finished 15th to keep his points lead. So, you got Jack Richards and Ryan Acosta and Connor Breton having bad races, so they will finish in the end. And congrats to all these guys for racing pretty nice. We only had one big crash, so congratulations to Dillon Poteet on fresher tires winning the race over Trent Dunham, and just a great pit crew we had. Congrats to him on his first win in the Truck Series. He had it coming last week, but great job he got it done this week, and Dillon Poteet will be a player in this chase now. Congrats to Dillon Poteet, as we will see you guys next week at Bristol, and our coverage is out.